There's currently 23 rappers who will die inside a prison. This is because of the disturbing crimes that they committed, such as YNW Melly, whose crime is so bad he can't even receive a bond. Today it was announced, a judge ruled that the Florida rapper must stay behind bars until the retrial begins in September. He's been incarcerated for 6 years fighting the case, in which he is accused of the murder of YNW Juvie and Sack Chaser, two former friends, in 2018. As Melly alongside his family was convinced that he was going to be released from jail. This was even his mother after 1 out of the 6 charges was accepted on bond.
We just still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
As it was announced, YNW Melly gets bond on 1 out of 6 of his total charges. He's been locked up for 2,295 days without a bond or a guilty charge, even despite a previous mistrial. Everything pointed in the direction of Melly getting released from jail, but the prosecutors did something disturbing to YNW Melly by creating deals with his ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton and his best friend YNW Bortland. Mariah was hiding out of the United States since before Melly's original trial. She was supposed to testify against him, but she never showed up. This made her wanted by the police for the last few years.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
As the judge made a deal with Mariah, saying that if you agree to testify against Melly, you're free to go. She accepted it instantly, making it the worst news imaginable for YNW Melly. She would write on Facebook, "Into my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." This is because they found disturbing evidence on Mariah's iCloud account, which relates to YNW Melly forcing her to not testify in the original trial. This is known as witness tampering. It carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering case would also be separate from his existing case of Juvie and Sack Chaser's passing. Due to him witness tampering on the jail phones, YNW Melly hasn't been allowed to use a phone for a very long time. It's gotten so bad that his mother, Jamie King, even did an interview exposing the county jail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
However, if the evidence is true that Melly was using the jail phones to commit witness tampering, he's going to be going to prison for life. They must have the evidence stored away as well. They wouldn't keep YNW Melly off of the jail phones, as it is illegal to do so, meaning they have the evidence to prove he's guilty. But it gets even worse from here, as they then wanted to work with YNW Bortland to avoid another YNW Melly mistrial. This is due to them submitting paperwork to have Melly and Bortland tried together in the next trial for one specific reason.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
If YNW Bortlen knows he didn't commit the crime, he won't physically be able to sit there beside YNW Melly and take life in prison to the chin, making it more likely that he'll just point the finger at Melly and say the truth. What you didn't know is that Melly's lawyers already tried doing this to YNW Bortlen in the first trial, which is why Bortlen and Melly haven't talked to each other since.
Those were his lines. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
As Melly's own lawyer revealed to the jury that it was always Bortlen that was lying to the feds, he was the one with powder residue on his hands, he was also the last person with Sack Chaser and Juvie when they passed away. They even brought a forensic scientist that covered the passings to go into further detail about Bortlen having the powder residue.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue, and two-component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of tar residue and 1 two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was tar residue present on the hands.
Now, YNW Bortlen did not like this at all. He actually hasn't talked on social media since this tweet, as when Melly's mistrial was granted, it was shared. YNW Bortlen tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared. The tweet shares, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting a deal. Due to all of that, Melly's lawyers will now appeal the decision of a no bond, where they can repackage all of their evidence and present it to the judge one more time. Here's how they should do it. Melly's lawyers even wrote, Melly's legal team proposed posting an unspecified bond that would be paid by his record label 300 Entertainment. If granted a bond, they assured the judge Melly will be on house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and hire round-the-clock security to keep tabs on him, as they should keep this in their bond package. But what they should also add is this interview of YNW Melly's mother claiming that he isn't being treated like a human inside a jail. This is extremely illegal.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
They would also bring up evidence from the original trial, where Melly's lawyers provided GPS evidence showing Melly sprinting down a street while the crime was going down, showing him that he was hiding into a bush when the alleged drive-by was going down, hiding from the opposing vehicle.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
As that backs up the claims of it being an actual drive-by, but what confirms it is there was never a firearm even found. In the original trial, it was confirmed even by prosecutors there was never a firearm, making the claim of a drive-by very likely, due to the guilty party driving away with it.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
But sadly, the prosecutors have so much evidence on their side, it's likely Melly will never be released. You tell me what side has stronger evidence, as they're gonna begin with evidence on Melly's phone, as he sent a text message hours after the crime admitting to it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also on Melly's phone was a saved video from somebody's Facebook Live. It shows his reaction alongside YNW Bortland in a parking lot only 6 hours after the crime was committed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
As they're seen not showing an ounce of sadness for the passing of their two best friends. But here's where a new interesting piece of evidence comes from. This is from a rogue O-Block member. He revealed Melly's motive to commit the crime was him not wanting to share finances with the other YNW members.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
This was supposed to be a secret that Melly told King Von. Sadly, Von shared it with O-Block members before passing away, where they would go further in depth, explaining that YNW is a registered business, where Melly would release music, perform concerts, sell merch, and all of the money made would funnel through the YNW business bank account. Sack Chaser and Juvie allegedly wanted a cut, as there's 4 members of YNW. Their thought was that the money would be split 25% each, but Melly, he didn't want to do that. But with the evidence relating to money, many fans also wondered how Melly's even paying for his lawyers, where coincidentally it would go viral, reading in quote, YNW Melly's mom trends after she started a fans account while he stands trial. This ended up taking the internet by storm. Even DJ Academic shared,
so YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's going to be starting the old, and I gotta be honest with y'all, man, like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, you know, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
As while Academics claims it's not about the money, social media would disagree. A No Jumper interview from 2 years ago with Adam B. Slime and Jamie King would show Adam asking Melly's mother how much money has he spent. He imagines Melly has spent a lot of money on lawyers. She would sit back and begin laughing. Meanwhile, his own brother, B. Slime, called out his brother for dumb purchases.
I would assume
but it's still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend.
That's what
on.
bro. But yeah, he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. and now it's like he don't even want to chain no more.
However, Kodak Black's case will sentence him to a lengthy prison time.
Arrest warrant has been issued for South Florida rapper Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pre-trial release. This mugshot is from his initial arrest last year when troopers pulled him over for driving with an expired driver's license and tags and found drugs on him.
First available, and then underneath the offensive status money.
Sit in the trail, alright? Scoop that over.
After news of Kodak arrested, his team has been releasing new music videos to capitalize off the newly found momentum. Songs from Christopher Columbus, Mayhem, and Soulboy are a result of the news writing. According to the Broward County Clerk, a new status hearing in Kodak's felony trafficking and possession case is now set for April 28th, as Kodak Black's trial has now been officially set, which will result in the rapper being forced into a prison sentence. This is due to a lawyer inside of the courtroom writing, "Chatter inside the court between prosecutors and law officials make it sound like Kodak isn't being given another chance. It's time for his sentence, but how long?"
Hey, look, come here. I'm not gonna arrest you on all right? This is just for the time being. Come on, officially. All right. You know your license is no good, but I'm not too worried about that. That's a ticket, right? That's a ticket.
Are you?
Now, Kodak was originally arrested for this crime about a year ago. He's been released on a bail all this time, but now that his trial is coming fast, Kodak is starting to release music relating to it. It's very clear it's affecting him mentally. Even the last video that he recorded, he said that he has never experienced real love.
I know girl treated you right, never, bro. I never had experienced love before. I never experienced it. I never experienced it, bro. I never experienced it, bro. I never did, bro. I never did, bro. I never experienced love, bro. I never did, bro. I never had it. I never had it, bro. I never had it, bro. I never had it.
Now that relates to his song titled Soulboy. The last 3 songs that he has released within the last 24 hours all have a different meaning. As this song in particular, Kodak raps, "Soon as I heard this stuff, I just started crying. My eyes keep watering. I miss my kids. I bet they wondering where their father went." As Kodak is relating to himself about to go to jail for who knows how long. It would even be announced, Wallow and Gilly give some life advice to Kodak Black, saying don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you. You gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people want to laugh, they want to joke, they want to criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
Trying to reason with Kodak on his recent struggles, as his life is a lot bigger than just him. According to Google, Kodak has 5 children who desperately need him, but due to his recent activities, he hasn't been allowed to see them. But Kodak would rap next, "Mama, I need you to stop believing everything you see on the blogs. Can't nobody say stuff about me cause I be high, way on Mars." This is likely due to the viral clip of Kodak eating chicken completely strung out in the middle of the street.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother. Oh, hold on, please. I want to be part of bro. I want to join them, bro. I want to be down here.
As that video caused major headlines to write about Kodak, this resulted in him doing a day in the life live stream, trying to prove that he doesn't do all of the extracurricular items that the news is saying he does. However, only an hour into the stream, he would be seen strung out once again, dancing on his countertop.
What you want a Mac? got some sick that got it sick. You been to the boy, got some sick man, boy, on radio, on your back. Yeah, stuck on the mat. Hey, stuck on the mat. Then a bed rest, there's a long nap, because she took it out of the way, and you can't do it back. You can't help.
However, Kodak's life is about to completely crumble. Going to trial for his possession and trafficking case will not be his first time, and due to that, the court system is going to be a lot harder on him. Kodak was arrested for this exact charge 2 years ago. On February 28, 2023, it was announced Kodak Black admits to being on drank, but he denies being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. I mean, so all that shit is just the process that it had to be in any other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is I'm plastered all over the internet. Then on top of that, it's like, bro, like, I'm Haitian, I mean, and then it's just like my era, bro, like, nah, like, man, you better off.
Shortly after the IG Live, the feds ended up raiding his home. They would arrest the rapper as while confiscating many items found within the home. While arrested, he hired his lawyer, Brian Cohen. He was able to secure a deal to have Kodak sent to a rehab rather than sitting in jail for 2 years.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive during a random test earlier this month.
What is this? Unjust and not right about this situation.
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
However, Kodak would end up just committing the exact same crime all over again, as the prosecutors will use that to their advantage, but also painting a picture for the judge that Kodak's recent behavior is a clear indication that this man either needs to go to rehab for a year or go to jail for who knows how long. What the prosecutors will show the judge goes as followed. You tell me how scary it is. Beginning with Kodak's overall mental health, as he ended up reading this viral tweet himself, which says, "Every time I see Kodak, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby moms, and not one of you greedy women care about him for real. Because why are you not helping him? You're probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away." As sadly Kodak Black saw this tweet, he would immediately hop on IG Live and he would quote it.
Everybody getting while we waiting on other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Everybody like let time do its shit, bro. Time is the best, what you call it, whether it's gonna heal or whatever it's gonna like, you know, let time do its shit. You gotta be patient. Love is patient, love is kind. You know, like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense, no sense at all. Or try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on. Everybody on. Your man on. Your on. Everybody getting. While we waiting, while we just down here waiting on when we're going.
This even resulted in Kanye West speaking out, trying to help out Kodak. He would end up asking other rappers in the area to come alongside him.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't. I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't. I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
Kodak didn't end up seeing the video from Kanye until a few days later. But what happened later on that night confirmed he needs serious help right now, as Kodak was recorded by a friend pacing around his room claiming that he is Drake's favorite rapper. Now, he definitely could be, but it's more of a confirmation that he is hanging out with the wrong crowd. He's clearly strung out, and his friend would rather sit there filming him rather than helping him.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that, even his people always say that. They always say that. Even when he, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, cause and shit like, oh no, it's for real, bro. You just got it.
However, there is an explanation on how we even got here, which is important to hear. Kodak went to rehab for his first case of trafficking and possession. It did, however, pause his music career for roughly a year. Many forgot about Kodak, but while in rehab, he turned his entire life around, writing new music, working out daily, and becoming a much better person. Once released, he dropped his hit song titled Walk. This song got 33 million views. It climbed right back to the top of the music chart. However, the success would get to Kodak's head, as he would then be featured on a Kai Cenat live stream, trying to capitalize off of the new momentum, but he would be seen on stream having extreme sweats, swatting at things that aren't even there, and shouting random words.
You can't always say it, but at times when it feel good, that's what you say sometimes. Yeah.
I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
It's unclear if Kodak took things to help him with maybe some nerves of going on a Kai Cenat live stream, but the morning after, Kodak would end up hopping on IG Live trying to explain the situation, as he was getting a lot of hate.
Come on, say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type, y'all be on say all type of stupid, but I take you one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look any type of like, yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro, for try to like, and then you don't think.
There was millions of fans disappointed that he broke his sobriety, and he made himself look absolutely terrible on live stream. The hate would end up lingering for the next few months. It got so bad, even Boomk reached out trying to help out Kodak.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. In front of outside looking in, it's obvious that you're and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now, but by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down, them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You gotta make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, you gotta set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
Waiting for things to calm down, he would end up going to attend a local football game. A fan would end up interacting with him and telling Kodak they love it when he is sober. Kodak didn't appreciate this for some reason, and he responded very aggressively by pulling out his phone and going on IG Live.
Say I love when Kodak's sober. I ain't sober. I look sober. I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? We are sober.
The following week after, he would then go to a Baltimore Ravens game, completely looking out of it again near fans. A tweet read, "NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black's health as he appeared off, while showing love to star quarterback Lamar Jackson in the Ravens."
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Yeah! Yeah! Hey, that boy Yak in the city? Yeah, Yak in the city? I live out here. Hello. Yeah, Yak in the city. Baltimore, let them know.
This was the final straw for many in the rap industry. Watching Kodak go down a terrible spiral, it was very clear that he needed help right now. But only 2 weeks later, he did something completely insane. He was invited to the White House, and then he became the first ever rapper to tweak at the White House.
So like, imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
This would end up going absolutely viral online. This resulted in him going onto a podcast with DJ Academics and apologizing, saying he wants to use his influence for change.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody that I wronged, and I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry, and I'm sorry to all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to Young Miami. I'm saying. For kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did?
And even later on that night, responding to Kanye West's message, finally, where it would be shared, Kanye is a real one. You want to know why? Kanye's the only guy who still likes Diddy. I'm pretty sure the feds are going to seize all that boy's accounts. Kanye just did some real stuff. And you know what? I'm going to do a collab with you. So, bro, we can get some money.
Yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause I'm some whole Kanye the only still did it. Cause he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me. I'm clean yeah. In her Kanye
However, the scariest part is everything I just shared will likely be shared with the judge as well, showing the judge that Kodak, he can't be trusted in the free world. He needs help, and he needs to either be locked up or in a rehab. What would suit him better, rehab or jail? Comment down below. However, the police is targeting Yungeen Ace for murder, which is a life sentence. Did you know the Jacksonville police just called out Yungeen Ace? It would be reported Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters sends a PSA to Yungeen Ace and his crew after Julio Foolio's hitters were caught.
So Yungeen Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
As the sheriff would then go into further detail about picking up Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace.
The drill rappers.
You have drill down here.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a Chicago thing.
No, man, it's down here too, man. And the thing about it is we like to run them out of town. Like, there's a couple of them that they know they can't live here anymore. There was a particular song, it's Vanessa Carlton. What's the name of that song? It's real catchy, everybody likes it. Yeah, 1,000 Miles. They sampled her song, and then they made a song, a rap to it, and they were talking about people that had actually been in Jacksonville. About 5 or 6 of them, right? They named in that song?
They did name them.
But that's what drill rap is. It's nonsense, but it's impactful because they're talking about people that have actually been, those people have parents, they have mothers, they have fathers, they have brothers and sisters that feel the effects of what's going on. They think it's a joke.
As the police have been tailing Yungeen Ace for quite some time in Jacksonville, as just recently the 5 people arrested for the passing of Julio Foolio would end up revealing that Yungeen Ace allegedly hired them as hitmen. From Alicia, Isaiah, Sean, Rashad, and Davion, the police believe that Yungeen Ace actually paid them money to take out Julio Foolio. This is why they have been canceling all of his concerts, trying to limit Yungeen Ace's business income in case he needs to get lawyers in the future.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing this, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, y'all trying to f my life. Cause y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't f with y'all. Y'all canceled all my shows, but I just had a show in Tampa. Y'all got my show canceled in Tampa. I had a show in Virginia. I called, got my show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. Y'all canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. You feel me? Like, what's really going on?
But do you know they did it for a specific reason? It was all due to a video that was leaked online, where it would be announced Jacksonville rapper admits to targeting Julio Foolio because Yungeen Ace put up $10,000 on his head.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the day homies, bro, I put it on everything on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Julio Foolio that night when he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? There was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that, cause, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had them put that 10K up, told me to slide, told me to cause you know he got tired of that nigga running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro.
This would end up going viral online, so bad that Foolio's goons would want to retaliate against Yungeen Ace. A tweet would read, "The streets are saying Foolio's goons finally caught Yungeen Ace lacking. This Jacksonville beef is just getting started." As DJ Academics already assumed all of this would happen, telling Yungeen Ace that he is actually next to be dealt with, whether it's by his ops or the police.
Whack 100 recently spoke about you and he says, "You're next."
Why would you say that, bro? Why would you wish that for me?
Well, I don't know if he was wishing that. I think he's just thinking about, like, you know, in terms of, you know, people want to get the target, like the high profile target, and if Foolio is out the way, now they're like, well, the only way to make another thing is you.
Why wish that on me, bro? Man, bro, I've been living my whole life, twin. I'm letting you get up on. I'm not letting nobody get up on me. So I don't.
With his passing now, right? Does it mean that this whole situation is over?
There's never no situation.
This has even resulted in Yungeen Ace wanting to get a fresh start, wanting to move out of Jacksonville and cut ties with his own gang. He would tweet, "Ain't no such thing as ATK no more, that stuff is gone and over with," as he would share an Instagram video running from the gang issue in Jacksonville.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? Niggas don't do shit, niggas don't do shit, niggas tripping. Everybody always got shit to say, these niggas. When the time for the lawyers to be paid, where the niggas be at? Got all this shit to say, where the niggas be at though? Where niggas be need to get buried? When the time to spend that money, where the niggas be? They always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. These niggas be talking, man. What's wrong with these, man? Talking about uncomfortable, don't talk like me. Don't get the man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
After posting that on Instagram, his ops would end up flooding his DMs with an old video of Yungeen Ace in the hospital, where he almost lost his life in an incident where he was ambushed by several men while leaving a restaurant, while telling Yungeen Ace to be ready for this to happen again.
I'm trying to come for him. I'm trying to hold RJ. I'm trying to hold him. I'm trying to RJ open the door. I open the door, I'm pushing him out. I'm like, I got you, bro. I got you. He grab a shirt. I'm like, I can't move. He tell me he can't move. I jump out the car. Coke open the door. Coke said, call everybody. Just call one.
With ops wanting Yungeen Ace gone and the police wanting to arrest him for several crimes in Jacksonville, what the police just announced is gonna have Yungeen Ace gone forever. As the official police document reads, Julio Foolio, born June 21st, 1998, was involved in an ambushing by rival street members, likely paid by ATK rapper Yungeen Ace, Sunday morning in Tampa. What was supposed to be a celebration weekend for his birthday ended up turning into the worst thing imaginable due to social media. Julio and his crew rented an Airbnb for the weekend, as once arriving to the B&B, Julio would post this Instagram story.
Hey, The pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Foolio booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up.
The party inside of the Airbnb only lasted around 2 hours. Foolio would end up sharing the inside, showing everyone that was partying, showing there was drinks involved, while also showing that he was with several women, which one of them would have ties to the goons that would pull up on him later on in the night. This was his first mistake of many, showing millions of followers, including his ops, his every single move. As an hour later, the police arrived to the B&B. Calling the landlord of the home, he would eventually kick Foolio and his crew out of the crib, as Foolio would once again go to his Instagram, posting his next move. This would be a poster for a nearby club, telling millions of followers where he's about to be going, as well as showing the literal address on the club poster. Almost like he's trying to break the record on social media for the most location drops to his ops in one weekend. Once arriving to the club, he would then post to his Instagram again, sharing exactly where he is sitting inside of the club in the upstairs lounge.
We came deep for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up to spell. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep. Lit everywhere we go.
This would give the ops plenty of time to get together, figure out a plan, and scope out the scene of where Foolio is. Taking action on this day, on the 23rd of the month, was very important to the ops, but more on that later. As did you know, when Foolio and his crew were done in the club, they would end up gathering in the parking lot so his manager can figure out a place to stay. They would end up scoping a nearby Holiday Inn down the street, and they would all begin driving down. When arriving to the Holiday Inn, sources claim everything was silent. Foolio was sitting in the parking lot alongside 12 of his own gang members, all sitting on the hoods of their vehicles. This was, however, until rival cars filled to the brim with street members would start driving down the street. Turning into the entrance of the hotel, they would be ready with their firearms. But there would be 3 members who would end up coming out of the nearby bushes. Their main job was to locate Julio Foolio, and when they did, you can likely guess what their next job was to do. This was a clear retaliation against Foolio, especially with it being on the 23rd of the month. Julio dropped a hit track titled When I See You. He made fun of Yungeen Ace for losing his brothers, as in the lyrics, Foolio rap, went out to eat on his birthday, 4 hit 3 passed in the worst way, he kept dissing on me, and now we're hitting 23. But now in the present day, on Foolio's birthday, these goons would end up hitting a total of 4 people on the 23rd day of the month, just like Foolio dissed them about. And if that isn't enough, Yungeen Ace would end up rapping in a new song after Foolio's passing. He would rap the lyrics, 4 in the car, 1 them gone, 3 got hit, recreating Foolio's lyrics against him, but with different numbers. But further proving the retaliation by Yungeen Ace's crew was 6 hours after the incident was done, it would be shared, Yungeen Ace dropped a song Do It, a direct diss track at Julio Foolio after his passing earlier today. Meanwhile, Yungeen Ace's right-hand man would share on Instagram an old tweet from King Von, which goes and reads, "Game over, we won, stupid." But the story gets crazier from here, as the police would end up finding the actual reason Yungeen Ace wanted Julio Foolio gone. In the official police records, it reads that 1 month ago, before Foolio passed, Foolio did an interview speaking on the beef in Jacksonville. He would end up revealing there was supposed to be a song made with both groups to stop all the crime against each other.
No record. Y'all probably didn't know this. Even though I said what I said, bro. Me and J.Dot Breeze supposed to be doing a Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that shit in motion. Song and just get that shit out the way for the kids, for the youth and shit. And yeah, we gotta make this look better, man.
You and J.Dot Breezy have a Stop the Violence record coming.
Yeah, that shit, it's talked about. I DM'd about it. My big cousin wrote about it too. He said he with it, I'm with it. But basically right now we trying to find a beat.
Making many upset that the entire situation could have been avoided. However, rappers in the industry have a different take, as they believe that Yungeen Ace was pretending to want to stop the beef in Jacksonville so then Julio would let his guard down, which definitely seems reasonable considering Foolio and his actions on Instagram that day. This would even get the attention of Charleston White.
And everybody saying, well, man, what you think about this? Well, all I'm gonna say is, man, that works hard to die. Did he earn this here? And goddamn it, should nobody be sad? Way that lived and talked gangster, should nobody be sad what did happen to Julio Foolio? One thing we know about it, he didn't go to heaven.
That's the same cut. What's that?
Yeah, now one thing about it, he ain't in heaven. Nah, wait, that boy, he had all the time in the world to apologize to them people. He was going to the graveyard, rapping at the graveyard. Man, that was making people mama cry. It's some people relieved, wiping their forehead saying, "Ooh, Lord, thank you." And then there's some people crying, said, "Oh, we gonna miss one leg, one foot."
However, the following day, the actual truth would end up being revealed. This is all a result of the passing of Yungeen Ace's best friend, ATK Mitch. Did you know in April 2022, officers saw Julio Foolio driving a Dodge Durango with an illegal window tint? They would end up pulling Foolio over to ask questions when suddenly a prosecutor showed up. Things got very odd. The prosecutor even searched Foolio's vehicle illegally and even told the officers who he was. After hearing who Foolio was, he was then taken into the police patrol car and he was questioned on the passing of ATK Mitch.
Alright, so I ain't want to bring it up, I know you're going to be upset. Mitch, there's some texts I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's going to take?
Not that long, depends on you. They just going to ask what you know about what happened.
Once he was taken into the car, Foolio knew that he would be questioned and he was quickly taken in to be interrogated.
I used to come to my mama's house. I used to stay on the corner. He would come over there, show his support.
What type of work do you do? What type
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. Okay. As far as Mitch go, what are you hearing?
Nah, really, I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch. Everybody, the whole Jacksonville, Mitch.
The detectives would start looking at who Foolio was to ATK Mitch and how they knew each other, while also asking where Foolio was when ATK Mitch sadly passed away.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I am lead on your friend's case.
Ooh.
You didn't have a friend that just recently got killed?
A lot of friends that,
Recently? Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me just run down on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
The detectives still had nothing on Foolio, but they had a hunch that he was involved with Mitch, so they tried fishing for any information that they could. But Foolio continued to tell the detectives he didn't know anything.
Guys, if you may know or hear something, that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom, then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well.
Oh, my little brother, I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't here. That's what I'm saying. You will never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I just heard it. They say, little brother, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Miami at the time, though.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah, but I'm known to this.
As while Foolio was shutting down any involvement with Mitch passing, they would ask Foolio why his music was related to so much crime in Jacksonville, as the detectives were getting very frustrated that Foolio was staying quiet.
Do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with him?
Nah, because even before I was rapping, it was, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music, that's why somebody, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth with it? Do you feel that way?
Nah. A song can't make no
Don't do nothing, bro.
However, the most famous rapper that is looking at life in prison is Lil Durk, who's also trying to be released from jail right now. In case you missed it, a viral tweet read, "Durk's lawyers just submitted the sneakiest bond proposal I've ever seen. We're actually about to see him released before GTA 6. As the famous rap lawyer for workers named Mo would share this.
In the Lil Durk case, his lawyer Drew Finling not giving up on the application for a bond. Now, they were denied last week by a magistrate judge. In federal court, you have a magistrate judge and a district judge. The district judge is on top of the magistrate judge. So if the magistrate judge denies you, you can ask the district judge to take a look at it. That's what his lawyers are doing here. I think this is a good decision because, quite frankly, in front of the magistrate judge who denied Lil Durk, Drew Finling could have pulled a rabbit out of a hat and that magistrate judge would have remanded the rabbit. You have to consider the fact, and I hope the district judge will, that this case, as pled several months ago, has been significantly watered down in terms of how it's being pled against Durk, where you used to have an allegation that we, the government, are going to prove to you exactly who he paid the bounty to. Now the government's saying, oh, we're not going to be able to do that.
As mentioned by Mo, the fill-in judge denied Durk instantly. This is due to his case being a flat-out murder for hire, but it's what happened at his first bond hearing that will lead him to being released on his second try, as it begins with,
update on Lil Durk. He had his bond hearing today. He looked good. He looked like he was in good spirits. No crazy weight gain or anything like that. He looked good. The judge was on the same vibes she was on last time, which is that, wait, they're saying murder for hire. They're saying you put bounties up. They're saying you ordered. They're saying I'm saying that's going to be no bond. There's basically no argument you can make to this judge in a murder for hire case to get a bond. Is that the prosecution's case has taken two major hits. One, the prosecution has had to abandon their allegation that he rapped and celebrated about this murder, that he put these lyrics out talking about, oh yeah, I got you, you out here screaming no, no, crying in the street. Prosecution had to back away from that allegation. It was proven false. They need that allegation.
As what will have him released is the prosecutors tearing down their own evidence against him, telling the judge they're no longer going to use the lyric evidence against Lil Durk and go in a different direction.
The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
As he mentioned, the case is getting weaker for the prosecutors, who can't use Durk's lyrics anymore, but it's also why they charged him with something new. The news wrote, Lil Durk is now facing a new charge in his murder for hire case after being hit with a second superseding indictment yesterday. While prosecutors have removed mention of song lyrics, this ends up being terrible for Lil Durk, and allow me to explain. It reads, on Thursday, a California grand jury indicted Durk, born Durk Banks. The rapper now faces a new charge of stalking resulting in death in connection with the passing of Quando's cousin. This is in addition to the previous charge with 1 count of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, 1 count of conspiracy, as well as 1 count of using, carrying, and discharging firearms, and a machine firearm in possession resulting in death. However, the prosecutors have removed all mention of Durk referencing the murder in the song lyrics on the latest indictment. This is amazing news for Lil Durk. This is why his lawyers already submitted paperwork for the second bond hearing. But did you know Lil Durk's lawyer called the case a joke? As the feds only had lyric evidence against Durk, but then they just announced they're not even using it.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
Knowing there is very little evidence against Lil Durk, his lawyer Drew would then ask around the rap industry about these songs the feds wanted to use against Durk, and he realized these rap songs are very old and shouldn't even be used against him.
We got the indictment, we noticed, and we started hearing from people in the music world. People are like, this doesn't really make sense. That song, those lyrics were done a long time before that. I mean, we were hearing it from all different directions. We were hearing it from studio people. We were hearing it from people that wear suits to work every day, executives.
Exactly, yep.
And so we were like, we got to get to work here. We got to figure this out.
Due to all of this, Durk's lawyer would then flat out say they want to go the distance. But now with the new charges, this could be a terrible idea. This is why academics would then ask if Durk would entertain a plea deal. His lawyer says, absolutely not. We're going the entire way.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's gonna be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
They're going all the way for one specific reason. Durk's lawyers are keeping this in their back pocket to end up winning the case in the end, explaining that all Lil Durk does online and in music is an expression of his First Amendment right.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech and First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is violent.
As it looks so good for Durk's lawyers, other lawyers online are saying he's gonna be released just like Young Thug was.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months before.
However, these new Lil Durk charges could change everything, and let me explain. While they did drop the biggest coincidence evidence of all time, such as the lyrics of Durk rapping, "Look on the news and see your son screaming no, no," as Quando was on the news screaming no on the sidewalk.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
It raises the question, how much evidence do they have against Durk if they're able to just drop other evidence? After investigating through the court files, it's a lot. One update many forgot about reads in quote, over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio and video recordings and surveillance footage, and 20,000 pages of reports are currently being processed for discovery, as this all came from an OTF snitch. His name is Jam, and he allegedly supplied them with all the evidence. A court update read, the feds believe Lil Durk paid to get these 2 people dealt with. Number 1, Stefan Mack. who got Lil Durk's brother D-Thang. Then number 2, OTF Jam's baby mom. She passed away after Lil Durk found out he wore a wire around him. Feds believe OTF Jam is the key to putting Lil Durk in jail for all 3 crimes. As of right now, there's 2 new murder cases looming around Lil Durk's name, as it was this Instagram live where Durk noticed OTF Jam was wearing a wire. Jam is seen holding the top of his jacket, whispering in it.
I ain't gonna lie, my whole dream changed. I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day. Oh, my! Give me the check on your man, I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I was having a dare. Architect. Having a who? I'm having a dare.
As this connects to a Lil Durk interview that he did months before being arrested, where he knew that OTF Jam was acting weird. It was announced Lil Durk has been playing 3D chess the entire time. He knew OTF Jam was gonna cooperate.
I see shit from a mile away.
I don't think people realize that.
I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your is gonna cooperate.
As Durk would later speak on this, saying he doesn't even allow his friends to know where he lives, and he gives no information to anyone anymore. You can tell just how sad he is knowing Jam snitched.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the. You gotta watch,
everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
In case you're unaware, OTF Jam is the same man Durk gave $50,000 to, but pay attention to the people in the background of this Instagram live.
You know what's his name, but steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so baby mama get the trigger, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof.
Bro got out what?
You know that
how many you did all?
And the years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really was just getting in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
This was the first indication that OTF Jam was snitching. Those same men in the background of the entire IG live are the same men that were jewelry shopping with King Von.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him, man.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in. All right.
Now, all of those men that were jewelry shopping with Von and in the Instagram live are all currently behind bars awaiting trial alongside Lil Durk. Not only that, but they're pinning another murder case against Durk, showing this Instagram story where Durk writes, "For D-Thang, aha." This was posted 30 minutes after Stefan Mack passed away, alongside this Instagram story where Lil Durk is laughing the following day.
You can't see other shit, boy. What? Tweak on them folks. Hey, somebody always said, it's a laugh a car. Somebody always said, it's laugh a car.
But then with the help of DJ Academics' stream, the feds were able to pick up even more evidence where it's pretty much laid out that Durk says all of the crimes that OTF commits as his album names and song names. It gave the police everything they needed to originally arrest Lil Durk.
2020 Von, 2021 his brother dies. 2022, the niggas who his brother, they get clapped. The who Von, at least a cousin of theirs get clapped. 2023, he drops an album, I'm almost healed. You ever think about that, Chad? It's like poetic. 2020, Von dies. 2021, his brother dies. 2022, get back for both those situations. 2023, I'm almost healed. Crazy, huh?
As it was originally what caused rumors to circulate that OTF members were snitching against Lil Durk, but in reality, Durk was self-snitching, as according to police records, there's only one OTF snitch, which is allegedly Jam.
No motherfucker know what's going on, but them people that's in them courtrooms, man. For real, for real. Them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the be going on, for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird as hell. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all threw the Jams rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on, for real. On my kids, y'all really just be running. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the jails.
But it all isn't terrible for Lil Durk. A lawyer would predict his release date from jail.
So it all depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the AUSA that's involved. And if they want this individual badly enough, they'll make very attractive deals for these individuals. What does a very attractive deal look like? I think they go for the lowest hanging fruit. Whoever, didn't actually guy, maybe someone that was involved that didn't actually, or someone that, but it didn't hit, they're going to have forensics. Yeah. So they'll take whoever is the least culpable, and I think that they'll approach him and make a deal with him, that'll be the most attractive. And if that guy doesn't make a deal, they'll move on to the next guy. So usually that's what happens, right? You go for the lowest hanging fruit first, the guy that you think will flip, the guy that didn't really have that much involvement.
Then it would be announced. Kodak Black's attorney Bradford Cohen says Durk has a chance to beat the King Von and Quando Rondo revenge case unless OTF testifies against him. He says, I'm hesitant to say they have a slam dunk case on Durk Banks. I think they have a long way to prove the conspiracy against him.
When it comes to Durk Banks, so far I've seen one text that says, don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text, but is that the only text? Because that doesn't, that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial. But like I said, we have to wait and see what other evidence they have. If they have a snitch, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something, I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. So I'm hesitant to say that they have, a slam dunk case on Durk Banks.
But while Young Thug was just released from jail, it seems like he's about to go back in. The feds, they won't take it lightly either.
You guys are flying. You're going over 100 miles an hour down the metro.
Can I please get a warrant? Please. But if I was a cop and the person told me, I'll be like, I might have slapped him like, and I want to give you.
I don't want to slap you.
So fucking bad. But you told me that your license, you just got your license back. I ain't gonna get your license.
I've seen one too many bodies.
I promise I won't do it again.
I've seen one too many bodies, man. You know how many of those homies?
In case you missed it, the news posted, Young Thug's legal troubles continue to bother him. Atlanta police target him well after being released from jail. As right after Young Thug did an interview speaking on his beef with Gunna, he was targeted by the feds.
I just like to help people,
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah. I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
As this relates to his new song titled Money on Money featuring Future, where in the song he raps the lyrics, Brody you a rat, twin you a pack, as well as the lyrics, these guys telling for nothing and I gotta be the one calling them friends. Ultimately revealing that he's not rocking with Gunna snitching in the courtroom, as when Gunna originally signed his plea deal in 2022, Young Thug first heard about it at a judge the following day, where he would then be seen banging his head on the table. Not being able to say anything to Gunna in the moment, what he would do after being released from jail is gonna result in Young Thug going right back. A viral tweet reads, "I'm sorry, but there's no way Young Thug stays out of jail while also being a rapper. The lyrics you need to use to keep fans engaged breaks his probation every time." As DJ Academics predicted this already happening, it would be announced. Academics speaks on Young Thug getting released and says the stipulations are a setup for the court to put Young Thug back into jail, explaining that it's all a setup for him to eventually fail his probation, then go to prison for 20 years.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. He's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
But everything would go crazy after a news report of Whack 100 says he has 2 hours of footage of Gunna telling on Young Thug in an interrogation room, making many believe the feds are getting ready for another YSL case.
Hey Gunna, listen, I'm putting it together. I'm gonna give you some time. I don't know, 24 hours, 12 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 1 hour. I don't know. I'm gonna give you some time though, Gunna, for you to go ahead on and confess. Confess to the world about all the telling you did. You know that interrogation? Yeah. Guess who got it? 2 hours? Boy, you was in there talking more than Hurricane Katrina. The only thing he did wrong was let him record him. You know what I'm talking about.
As Young Thug would actually give this his attention, doing a small Instagram live, saying some surprising words, but not mentioning a single name.
Stink, I miss you.
I miss you too. What you doing?
Nothing, bored. You don't like him?
No, that's in my motherfucking room.
Cause you was being mean. He felt your energy.
Man, I don't even play. I fly all the way to LA. Is that?
You ain't gonna touch him.
With the entire world then in a frenzy, DJ Academics would leak information that Young Thug was making several calls with rappers in the industry, all telling them to avoid Gunna while he was still in lockup.
The streets are so atrocious. Young Thug told everybody that Gunna was a snitch. I'm telling you this, I don't give a if you believe me. That's what he sent to. Or he sent a message to Durk, Baby. There's a few other rappers that just won't call their names, just because some of them just told me in privacy. All of them rappers start not fucking with Gunna, speaking out, they're chilling away. Thug got out, Gunna kinda hot. Ain't like you're trying to really jump and work with Gunna, but
as with this then going viral online, Young Thug knew he had to respond again, hopping on another Instagram live for a very short period, just laughing.
I'm on live. I just jumped on here to let you ladies know that yes, a goat can go live. Whoa! What's up? Who up right now? What's up? Who up right now?
What seemed like a semi-friendly back and forth happening, it felt like the entire world stood still when it would be announced. The head of Georgia's PD Council gang unit says his office is preparing to defend against a potential 4PF RICO, as the official paperwork name drops Lil Baby. But what's even scarier is at the court hearing for it, the police would mention the evidence. An investigator wrote, "Investigator is on the stand. We are now listening to the wiretapped phone calls. Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads," meaning that Lil Baby was placing money to have people dealt with, similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man.
got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unk, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unk.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by, what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm. Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
Now rappers would begin reacting. First Young Thug, now Lil Baby, they're being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all Atlanta rappers be careful, as this is the exact same Atlanta DA that tried to get Young Thug, but it's also the same Atlanta DA that Gunna made his plea deal with. As the news would then reveal an important update reading, Lil Baby has been taken into county jail for questioning on the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Police question why he closed 4PF after the crime took place.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two 13-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come by my tacos up.
It would then be announced, Lil Baby reveals that he ended his record label 4PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team, but he ended up doing it in the most suspicious way possible.
First 4 Pockets Full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first, you know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Right. Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
As the entire internet would begin pointing their fingers at Gunna, so much so that Gunna's lawyer spoke out, making it clear that Young Thug and Lil Baby aren't being targeted because of Gunna's plea deal. He would write, "I was Gunna's attorney, but I am not speaking on his behalf. This long post is solely to set the truth. Gunna did not cooperate and did nothing and even said nothing to affect Thug's case."
And you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein items and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
He spent 8 months in jail, and he was released in December 2022 after entering an Alford plea. Gunna's plea could not and was not used at Thug's trial, and he was never even named as a witness. He received a 5-year suspended sentence with no reporting, no travel restrictions, no living restrictions, and no probation. Over the last 2 years, from media outlets, he has performed all over the world. He achieved international fame and recognition and earned millions of dollars. Conversely, Thug went to trial, and he eventually pled guilty in nolo after spending 30 months in jail. He received 15-year probation with reporting conditions and is not even allowed to leave Atlanta. Those that have and continue to badmouth Gunna get over it, enough said. As a fan's reply to Gunna's lawyer would then go viral. It would read, "Once y'all really learn the effects of Gunna snitching in that YSL trial, then you'll realize why Thug and Baby will never be cool with him again. Go learn. As I'll teach you it right now." It goes and reads, "The Atlanta Police Department is calling out Lil Baby, says his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals last summer. During a press conference on Wednesday, February 26, the Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests have been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were a part of a gang war that started at Lil Baby's music video shoot last May, where 3 people were injured, where he strongly says this team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable," referring to Lil Baby.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
As this is where fans find it very odd. Lil Baby recorded a music video on an ops block outside of a taco stand, but there was a lady that was featured on the news that was actually the one to tell the ops that Lil Baby was there. She posted on her Facebook that Lil Baby's at her taco shop, 3 cars deep, recording a music video.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking it. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. We don't know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how he doing this Slapping Tacos, baby.
According to police, the ops weren't even aware that Lil Baby was there. It was her Facebook video that got the attention of them, making them pull up with firearms. But what's scary is the feds are blaming Lil Baby and not the woman, as fans end up relating this to the trap the Atlanta DA, Fannie Willis, has been placing on rappers in Atlanta. As only 1 week after Gunna took his plea deal, it would be announced, Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. He was sent to the Clark County Detention Center, being held on a $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call his number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call his number for me. They locking me up for a but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year, I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I got a my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I got a my nuts. Check me good. I got a. Alright, y'all let me that car shoot myself dead. Y'all fire.
As fans believe this was a warning for what was actually written in Gunna's plea deal. But it gets a lot deeper than this, as only 8 months after, academics then revealed on stream that the name 4PF is now listed on the same RICO document that YSL was on.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But now with the YSL trial over, academics was finally able to reveal everything, as Lil Baby's recent arrests almost seemed like a warning for a massive RICO charge coming his way. And the rumor is that Young Thug, seeing as he grew up with Lil Baby in Atlanta, could be tied in.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fannie Willis started targeting YSL, Fannie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were going to get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay. We got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. You doing the math? You see why Lil Baby is moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county, state watch.
The Atlanta DA wasn't successful targeting Young Thug. It could be likely she tries Lil Baby next, as the evidence supporting that claim is only 1 month after Gunna snitched out. Lil Baby was arrested again. This time was for an illegal window tint, with the official footage being released online.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted.
You can't see nothing
Man,
out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, they give me the ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen?
827.
You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tents in Atlanta. These folk crazy. I take a ticket and then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the 10.
Now, in the body cam footage, Lil Baby was only given a ticket. However, many online notable sources claim once the police officer handed Lil Baby the ticket, then went back to his cruiser to submit the ticket into the police system, Lil Baby's name was then flagged in the system. An officer just further down that exact same street would then pull Lil Baby over again, but this time arresting him and bringing him into the jail without reasoning, almost sorta like a warning. This resulted in Lil Baby having to fly his lawyer out, trying to get bailed out that same night. But a rapper being targeted for murder, which is a life sentence, is Snoop Dogg. In case you missed it, the news wrote, new updates are happening in Tupac's murder case. Rappers in the industry from Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy are about to be arrested and questioned, where it's likely this interview from Snoop Dogg that made the feds begin to wonder his involvement.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
Revealing that he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge on that night in Las Vegas, but some last minute changes, he suddenly didn't go. As the Tupac murder case is now being reinvestigated by a new Las Vegas police force, as new technology is creating new leads on who's guilty. At the time, 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets. Many speculate that he could have received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, which led to him avoiding getting in that car. The feds then found another interview from Snoop where he claims that 2 days before Tupac died, he felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of, and I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with him. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you tell me what you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked the music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
With the entire internet going into a frenzy, millions of fans would begin investigating it, but one viral thread would stand out from the others, which revolves around Snoop Dogg getting word that Tupac was allegedly a Fed. Now, an interview from an officer revealed Tupac was an industry plant with a job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Then with the plan obviously not working, he suddenly passed away. But it makes sense as to why Snoop didn't want to go near him in Las Vegas on that night. But this thread also broke down every single piece of evidence that relates to Tupac still being alive, which is why the Tupac murder case was never even investigated by police until today. It starts with a 2010 interview from a rapper named Tretch, where things get very odd. In 2010, Tretch was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a concert. Tretch and Tupac were very close friends back in the day. They even worked on a few albums together, but here's where it gets interesting. After Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He placed his camera onto the floor, and in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Tretch about Tupac, to which he responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Last time I saw music.
Then only 2 weeks later, a video would be released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
Now this created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory, and ever since, it's been the biggest theory. But now in 2025, with new technology, what's being found is truly scary. As Suge Knight agrees that Tupac is alive and well. He said so in many interviews over the course of the last 2 decades, but one interview in particular makes a very convincing case that he is still here. Tupac was allegedly doing fine in the hospital right before he passed away. Suge Knight says, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing so well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But according to police records, they wrote that Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? It doesn't seem to add up in the moment, but when you compare it to another 2008 interview from Suge, he said the exact same thing. He is alive and that he's well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital, he was conscious in the ambulance, he was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
In a 10-year span, Suge Knight stood on business saying the exact same thing, that Tupac is alive and well. But after that 2008 interview, Suge would almost lose his life at a nightclub when a man used a firearm in his direction 6 times. Suge Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything, as he immediately knew that it was likely due to him talking about Tupac during a public interview. But what's scarier is, Suge Knight Jr. made the exact same mistake. Suge Knight's son would take it to Instagram in 2018 saying that Tupac was alive and that he was living in Malaysia. Then after Suge Jr. posted this, another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where someone said, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go." This is when Suge Jr. would begin panicking, posting several photos of Tupac alongside modern day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce, making it truly seem like someone was going after him, as on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some do believe it was a publicity stunt for Suge Jr. to gain clout, others believe that it was factual, as he would be the one to know more about the case than anyone else in the world, considering who his father is, and that his father was right there at the scene of the crime. But when investigating the actual crime, this is where you start to notice the holes in the story, and let me explain. As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, they spotted an op in the lobby of the hotel.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation. after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security would end up breaking up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops. But Tupac and Suge would then go back to their hotel to change. The two would then go off to a club to party it up for the night. At around 11 p.m., the two began driving to Suge Knight's club, where things would go down right in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keith D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
The aftermath of the incident was a mystery for over a decade. The police investigated countless interviews, but it was one interview in particular that stood out. This would be none other than a man named Keith D. He was featured on DJ Vlad's show. During his interview, he would detail the moments of finding Tupac and pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Now, Keith D would then go into detail, speaking that Tupac was only targeted because he was the one reaching for his firearm first when he was stopped at the red light.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
started
at Tupac and Suge.
As Tupac already knew that something was going to go down. He was getting ready, but sadly he wasn't fast enough. But later on, Keith D would then have to show proof that anything he's saying is legitimate. He would then release an interrogation with the police on the night the crime occurred, confirming that that was actually him at the scene.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
Now that the police had a main suspect, they would then investigate further. They would end up finding Keith D's reaction to Tupac passing away, showing his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happened. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
However, this is where it gets truly weird. Keith D wrote an entire book on being involved in Tupac's passing. It's titled Compton Street Legend. He also did countless interviews hinting towards being in the crime. But why is he now just being arrested for it after decades? Fans believe that it's a cover-up, that Tupac is still alive, so they'll just throw an elderly man in jail that was seen at the crime and think nothing of it. At the end of the day, you have to remember it's Hollywood. So knowing that, do you believe Tupac is alive? Or is he sadly passed away? However, Lil Baby is about to face a RICO charge. Did you know the life and music career of Lil Baby is now over after the police called him out for a RICO? It would be announced. The head of Georgia's PD Council's gang unit says his office is preparing to defend against a potential Fort PF RICO. When this was announced in court, even an investigator wrote, "Investigator is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads. This means Lil Baby placed money on people to have them dealt with, very similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire. As academics would explain, the city of Atlanta is getting ready to pursue a 4 PF RICO.
So there's this journalist. He's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4 PF and OMF case. Now I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
As this would be confirmed inside a court. Similar to Lil Durk's M for Hire, it would be announced gang investigator Marissa plays the wiretap in court that alleges Atlanta rapper Lil Baby putting money on people's heads. In the video, Marissa says Dominique Jones put money on people's heads, which is Lil Baby's real name.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unk, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unk.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by a price? What do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm. Or
and who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones had wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
This even got the attention of Young Thug, who tweeted, "Biggest liar in the DA office," while exposing what Marissa looks like, calling her a liar. As DJ Academics would explain further Marissa's involvement on trying to lock up Lil Baby.
So there's someone named Marissa Viverito. This person was a undercover cop. Now, what she testified to and spoke to, it's related to the Lil Baby 4 PF. So 4 PF were beefing with these guys called OMF, which is part of this like bigger like gang called like Goodfellas. And those guys, some of them got indicted federally. Remember when Lil Baby shot the music video in that hood? These guys, they shot the music video that Lil Baby was at. Allegedly, some 4 PF dudes went to go to retaliate, and then they came back to spin back on Lil Baby, or not Lil Baby, let's just say 4 PF. The investigator that was supposed to be undercover is someone named Marissa Viverito. She testified to a few things. Yo, these OMF dudes are beefing with 4 PF. We got wiretaps, so this is how you know an indictment definitely is coming.
This would end up getting the attention of Snoop Dogg, who would say, first Young Thug, now Lil Baby, being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all rappers be careful out there, as the news would then reveal an important update saying, in quote, Lil Baby was taken into county jail for questioning on the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Police questioned why he closed 4 PF after the crime took place, as this made Lil Baby look extremely suspicious, as he would close 4 PF after 2 individuals passed away at a 4 PF music video. As it would be shared, Lil Baby reveals he ended his record label 4 PF to avoid it being labeled as a street team.
First 4 Pockets Full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because all shit that be going on, and I had to start learning that like other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
As this viral tweet would then go around saying, and quote, if Lil Baby does get RICO'd, his career is just dead. Bro's music is already hanging on by a thread. As DJ Academic said the exact same thing.
Man, you better listen. I don't know if Young Thug's still just on a vacation. Tell him you need him. You need him for a verse, a song. You probably need him to pop out his real loud for you because it would have made it all better. You need this. Okay, please. Yo, the crazy thing is Lil Baby confidently be previewing these. It's like, yo, they're hot. Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far, chat.
But regardless, it looks like Lil Baby's life is over due to what happened next. The police would write a statement saying, the Atlanta Police Department is calling out Lil Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of the two young individuals last summer. The press conference on Wednesday had the Atlanta PD announcing 7 arrests have been made in connection to the passing of Jacody and Lamont. Major Ralph stated the incidents were a part of a gang war that started with an incident at Lil Baby's music video shoot last May, where 3 people were injured. While the police would then say, this team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable, the officer said, referring to Lil Baby.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
As this would then even being broadcasted on the local news.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of 2 13-year-olds, and a $50,000 reward is being offered for more information. So far, 7 people have already been arrested.
Between the bullets, it was nothing but bullets, pop, 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 pop.
At least 25 shots fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come by my tacos up.
The woman featured in the news clip is very important. Lil Baby recorded a music video on an ops block outside of her taco store. However, that same lady told the ops that Lil Baby was there, posting on her Facebook that Lil Baby's at the taco shop 3 cars deep recording a music video.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. You know how we do it, that slapping taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how he doing this slapping tacos, baby.
As according to the police, the ops weren't even aware that Lil Baby was there filming. It was actually her Facebook video that got the attention of them, making them pull up with firearms, clearing the scene. But what's scary is the feds are blaming Lil Baby. This resulted in a viral tweet that shared, "The Atlanta DA wasn't successful getting Young Thug. Watch, she will now go target Lil Baby and use him as an example for the rest of the rappers who are supplying their gangs with fame, money, and items for street crimes." But what's not talked about nearly enough, as this was already exposed by a close whistleblower to 4PF. Right after Lil Baby's Wham album was released, it shared, Lil Baby's new album Wham was a rushed release due to legal battles coming his way. Him closing 4PF was the first sign to this, as the feds already warned the public about Lil Baby's involvement in Atlanta crimes.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
As DJ Academics revealed the trap the Atlanta DA Fannie Willis was placing on rappers. As after she revealed the trap, 1 week later it would be announced, Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit. He was then sent to the Clark County Detention Center, being held on a $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call his number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call his number for me. Locking me up for a gun, but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good. I got a in my nuts. Check me good. You on the camera? I got a my nuts. Check me good. I got a. All right, y'all let me that car shoot myself in the head. Y'all.
But it actually gets a lot deeper than this, and let me explain. Only 8 months ago after that arrest, academics revealed on stream, while showing the official file, that 4PF was on the same RICO document that YSL was on.
I've heard two of them. Like, I've heard the two of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
But now in present day, with the YSL case over, academics then revealed everything else. He would reveal Lil Baby's recent arrests are like a warning for a massive RICO charge coming his way.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were going to get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Vaughn died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. You doing the math? You see why Lil Baby was moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county state watch.
Making it that the Atlanta DA wasn't successful targeting Young Thug, making it likely she's gonna be getting Lil Baby next. As this was even confirmed, Lil Baby was arrested for an illegal window tint, with the official footage being released online.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, they give me the ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen?
827.
You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tints in Atlanta. These folk crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the tint.
At the end of the footage, Lil Baby received a ticket for his window tint. He would continue driving on that exact same street, but at the same time, his name going into the official police system due to a ticket being given, where his name would then be flagged. An officer further down the street would then pull over Lil Baby again, but this time he took him into jail for an unknown reason, almost feeling like a kind of warning by the feds that Lil Baby, you're on our radar, as Lil Baby would have to be bailed out that night. As with all of the recent arrests, Lil Baby feels like he's being targeted, likely by a best friend who snitched on him, which is why when Young Thug was released from jail, they both started dissing Gunna immediately. Thug tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats," with the name Wham referring to Lil Baby, who's been firm on dissing Gunna. Lil Baby responded, "We should." The following day later, Thug would then tweet again, saying, and I quote, "Gunna, stop acting like we're friends on the internet. I don't know you," getting the attention of Gunna and his brother, who would say, "Trust and believe, the feeling is mutual." But later on that night, Thug would link up with T.I., where he would say in the video that he's home and that he's did it the right way out.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my right.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
But academics would reveal the feds are always one step ahead. The feds already predicted all of this going down, which is why they gave Thug a plea deal out of prison. It would be shared. Academics speaks on Thug getting released and says the stipulations are a setup for the court to put Young Thug back into jail, explaining how it's a setup for Thug to eventually fail, go to prison for 20 years, but they also know Lil Baby would take his side, where the Atlanta DA would then be able to trap both Young Thug and Lil Baby at the exact same time, which is obviously working now.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. But he's always gonna talk about him and his is doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody know Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
Other rappers that are dying in prison right now are Tory Lanez, Blueface, Who Shiesty, Diddy, Fetty Wap, Casanova, TSU Surf, K-Flock, Dougie B, Fabio Foreign, and Quando Rondo. Comment down below who I've missed.